serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Tanu program. Cars Plus, visit today during our spring sales event. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Primetime, Guahan Academy Charter School officials take the hot seat at an oversight hearing. Also tonight, local and federal law enforcement officials make a plea for bump stock owners to surrender the banned gun devices. And concerns over the disposal of used oil. Nestor Lecanto has more on what will happen if the power plant, where it's burned, is shut down. Hafa and good evening, everybody. A special Hafa to all of our global viewers streaming us on Facebook Live. Well, topping our news tonight, Guahan Academy Charter School faced senators last night in an oversight hearing. The controversial charter school had some explaining to do before Education Chair Vice Speaker Talina Nelson. Chris Barnett explains those discussions.
Education Chair Vice Speaker Senator Talina Nelson looking for the answers from Guahan Academy Charter School. The charter school losing its accreditation candidacy and, according to the charter school law, should have had its charter revoked since it did not gain accreditation in the 5-year period the charter school allows. While Nelson repeatedly raised concerns during the hearing about the effects of graduating from a non-accredited school on students, Guahan Academy officials appeared to downplay the school's secondary levels not being accredited. In this clip, Guahan Administrator Dr. Judy Wampat said GACS shares its non-accredited status with at least one really good college.
One of the most prestigious universities in the United States is Harvard University, and it's not accredited.
We still owe an answer to the people of Guam on why are we not accredited, what are the steps that we are going to take to get accredited, and how does that impact our children's future from graduating from a non-accredited school. And Harvard is an accredited university.
Yes, Harvard is accredited. We Googled it. Also touched on in the oversight hearing, a scathing OPA audit released just days before the oversight hearing. The audit raising, quote, substantial doubts about GACS's ability to continue operating with over $3 million in debt. A slew of deficiencies also noted, including lack of trained staff, accounting policies, and procedures. GACS's response to the audit?
Basically, this report is already biased to begin with. Okay, in other words, we call this fishing for facts, for errors. This is what it is.
Also at the hearing, Parent Representative Janessa Corpus shared how her special needs daughter's individual education plan was lost in a filing cabinet at GACS for months. In emotional testimony, Corpus said her children experience high teacher turnover and a lack of qualified special needs consulting resource teachers.
Child special ed, right? Check mark that, turn in the documents, everything was there, but nobody cared to look, read, and make sure that every student there, especially students who need accommodations, modifications, who fall under IEP, that they meet their needs.
While Nelson again raised the issue of GACS grads not being able to secure federal student loans, Wampat responded by saying she received a message from a finance person who said that wasn't the case.
You have my word. I'm putting my credentials on the line here.
I just would like to see something concrete, like maybe something from the director of FAFSA saying that students can still receive federal student aid.
The cost of GACS's non-accredited secondary program, $1.9 million from the general fund, which would come out of a fiscal year 20 DOE budget that has already been significantly cut in the governor's budget bill. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Also tonight, it's been quite a while since most of us have heard the name BJ Cruz, but the now public auditor is responding tonight to criticism thrown his way at the Guahan Academy Charter School's oversight hearing. Auditor Al Urquiza says the OPA audit of GACS for fiscal year 2017 was biased. Cruz, meanwhile, has fired back, saying GACS refused to turn over documents, hired an attorney to fight turning over documents needed to conduct the audit. He also adds if the audit had been completed on time, it could have had an impact on the amount that the charter school was appropriated for fiscal year 2019.
This audit is 19 months late. This should have been at the legislature when we were considering their budget last year. In December, I sent a note again We're going into calendar year 19, and there's still no audit. Documents hadn't been provided. Then it became people were dying, staffers were getting sick. We need some additional time. It was absolutely ludicrous.
The former legislative speaker and Supreme Court Chief Justice says GAC's secondary level, which lost its accreditation candidacy, should not be receiving GovGuam funds.
Because it's very clear in the charter. You don't have accreditation at the end of the 5 years, it ends.
Our Chris Barnett had a face-to-face with Cruz on this subject. You can stream that interview on our YouTube channel. Well, the Leon Guerrero Transition Fund has now drawn the interest of the public auditor during a apparent 180s just a week ago that he told KUAM News no audit of the fund had been requested. Cruz also said the audit work schedule was already determined for this year. Now, Cruz says after reviewing KUAM News reports and the responses from Adelup, he's had a change of heart. The public auditor says very few truly understand the statute on gubernatorial transitions, adding the law is very clear about what's supposed to happen with the balance of transition funds that are left after a new administration is inaugurated.
Supposed to go back to the general fund, as you put it, shall. So I've discussed it with the staff, and we will be doing an engagement letter to do the audit of the transition funds.
Adelup Press Secretary Crystal Paco tells KUAM News the transition fund report would be submitted when the transition team report to the legislature is reconvened. Communications Director Janela Carrera added the transition funds are not subject to procurement law. A statement from Adelup says, quote, "We are pleased to hear that Public Auditor Cruz will be performing the audit of the Leon Guerrero Transition Fund. We remain committed to transparency and look forward to working with the Public Auditor throughout this process." Well, in other news tonight, 2 weeks since it was signed into law and things are really rolling along as Governor Lou Leon Guerrero appointed 3 people to the Cannabis Control Board. They are Chamglan Botanica owner and herbalist Ursula Herrera, attorney Vanessa Williams, and William Parkinson, a medical cannabis cardholder and a former senatorial candidate. The 3 joined 6 GovGuam representatives, making it now a complete board. The Cannabis Control Board is tasked with several responsibilities, including drafting the rules and regulations for the possession, use, sale, distribution, processing, and permitting of cannabis products. An announcement about the date and location will be announced later. Well, your police department tonight is asking for your help. And please to come forward if you have encountered Paul Mofnis Jr. previously. The repeat sex offender was arrested on Saturday for kidnapping and raping a 10-year-old girl in Tamooning. Court documents state that he admitted that he, quote, sexually assaulting female minors is an addiction of his that he cannot resist.
Mofnis was arrested late Saturday and charged on Monday for the kidnapping and sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl in Tamooning. On our Facebook Live morning show, Crime Time, police spokesperson Paul Tapau put a call out to the community.
Now, if anybody should have any information or they may have encountered Mr. Mofnis in the past, please, we can work in supplemental information or separate and apart a different case separate from what had happened last week Thursday. Our dispatchers 472-8911, they can come forward.
As reported prior to his most recent arrest, Mofnis pled guilty in May 1999 to kidnapping and sexually assaulting 4 teenagers ranging from 13 to 18 years of age. He was sentenced to 27 years but was granted 5 years parole in February 2014. The Guam Parole Board, however, granted him early discharge in July 2018 for notable conduct. In an interview with KUAM, Guam Parole Board Chairperson Michelle Teitzno said she was saddened and disheartened about the case. Although detainees are typically held at the Agana lockup, KUAM confirmed earlier this week that he had been moved to Post 6, or the maximum security unit in Mangilaw, as a safety precaution because of the nature of the crime and because he was a previous inmate. The Mofnis case has prompted Senator Therese Terlahi to call for a roundtable meeting with relevant stakeholders to initiate discussions on a formal review of sentencing, parole, and treatment guidelines for sex offenses. The roundtable meeting has been scheduled for May 6th.
And you can stream our weekly Crime Time live stream episodes. Just go to Facebook, look up KUM News, and like our page. Well, in other news tonight, 2 people were charged with multiple counts of criminal sexual conduct, child abuse, and family violence for sexually abusing a 12-year-old girl. Ermina Sukial, 33 years old, and 41-year-old Reten Rusan have been accused of forcing the girl into sexual situations and then raping her. Court documents state that on April 11th, the victim was asleep when Rusan allegedly began sexually abusing her with her clothes on. Sukial then allegedly pulled the girl's hand to touch her private area. Now, while this was occurring, Rusan is accused of telling the victim, quote, "You have to feel good. You cannot have a boyfriend until I show you what a boyfriend would do," end quote. Sukial admitted she and Rusan sexually assaulted the girl because he commanded her and threatened to kill her if the girl told anyone. Well, back to GPD, Guam's finest. Sergeant Paul Tapao confirms that they received a report and are investigating an incident that occurred at Matapang Beach in Tumon. The video, which we shared on YouTube and Facebook today, shows a confrontation between a woman and a group of people. Toward the end of the video, the woman was hit by an individual and then chased by a group of people in the parking lot. Posts throughout social media speculate that it could be Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield. Joint Region Marianas responded with a post on Facebook saying they are aware of the video and it is not the officer. Elsewhere tonight, local and federal law enforcement officials are pulling the trigger on a campaign aimed at spreading awareness about a gun device that's been recently banned by the Department of Justice.
The main focus in this partnership is really just to get the message out for those who may possess bump stocks.
A joint press conference with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the Guam Police Department was held Thursday morning at the Chief of Police's office in Tizon, targeting the owners of bump stocks. These are devices that can be attached to a firearm that would essentially turn it into a fully automatic weapon or a machine gun. It was on March 26th of this year the federal ban took effect. ATF resident agent for Guam, Jeff Gaines.
To be in possession of a bump stock, which has now been classified as a machine gun and our machine gun part, that is a 10-year penalty, up to 10 years, or up to $250,000 fine.
ATF and GPD are providing a window for bump stock owners to surrender their devices. Acting Chief of Police Steve Ignacio.
Because we're going to be using the precincts to be a point where people can come in and be provided that opportunity to turn these bump stocks over. We don't know how many exist on Guam because they're not required to be registered when you purchase them and possess them.
Residents who own bump stocks can turn them in at the following precincts and dates: Monday, April 22nd at the Dedito Precinct from 4 to 7 p.m., Wednesday the 24th at the Agana Precinct, and Monday, April 29th at the Agate Precinct, again 4 to 7 p.m. The federal ban was first introduced in response to the mass shooting in Las Vegas in 2017 when a gunman attached bump stocks to multiple firearms and shot into a crowd of people at a concert. 58 people died and hundreds were injured.
Thankfully on island we haven't seen anything related to bump stocks, but I think we all know, that we've seen the devastating effect of how all the bump stock was used in a prior shooting.
For more information, call the ATF field office in Guam at 472-7129.
Please stay tuned. Primetime continues right after this.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy. To the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
The next generation Galaxy has arrived. See it and believe it. The
The Infinity O display is the most innovative Galaxy screen yet. Capture the wider world. Take stunning photos with a 123-degree field of vision. Use your phone to charge other wireless charging devices. Don't just stand out, stand apart.
Get your life back and learn how to live sharper, leaner, longer, and better in 30 days or less. On Guam for 4 nights only, open to the public with free admission, 12 years and older. Life-changing seminars with Dr. David DeRose with co-presenter Sonia DeRose. 4 nights, 4 different topics, and it's free. April 22nd through the 25th, 6 p.m. at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. Space is limited. Seats are first come, first served basis.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. And there is a looming problem over the disposal of used oil. How do we exactly get rid of more than 1.5 million gallons of this stuff each year once the power plant, where it is burned, is finally shut down? That's a sticky question that senators want a special task force to solve, as Nestor Locanto explains in this next report.
For more than 25 years, used oil has been burned at the Cabras power plant, but the aging units, 2 of which were heavily damaged by a fire in 2015, will soon be taken out of commission. To avert a potential environmental crisis, Senator Tello Taitigui has introduced a bill to bring the experts together. GSWA General Manager Larry Gass has 30 years of experience with used oil disposal.
One of the things you're going to have to remember is whatever plan you choose is not going to be a set in stone plan.
For example, fluctuating oil prices.
Today you may take a estimate as to what your costs are going to be, and if oil is at $100 a gallon, you're going to get paid for some of it. But if oil drops down to $28 a gallon, $28 a barrel, sorry, I meant barrels, you're going to be paying to get rid of used oil.
Others point out that shipping the oil off island will be quite expensive and have to be passed on to businesses and consumers. And GPA General Manager John Beneventi says the power company, which is building a new type of generator, can no longer be the solution.
But really, at the end of the day, my whole point of how to get this done is really the private sector has to be engaged. Someone in the private sector has to bring the solution to us and be able to invest in that solution to be able to make it happen.
Gass says it's a complex issue, but there are some practical solutions that the community can start practicing.
One of the basic things in recycling is to reduce. You know, if everybody switched to synthetic, the motor oil issues would be half of what they are if they use conventional oil.
He says once the word gets out, a lot of companies will come out of the woodwork offering alternatives. The GSWA GM's advice, make sure you do your homework. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Locanto.
All right, Nestor, thanks so much. Well, speaking of your elected lawmakers, senators sent the agenda for next week's legislative session as 12 bills and a slew of agency director and board appointments were approved for debate during a Rules Committee meeting Thursday. One of those bills would ease the residency requirements for ownership of a cannabis testing lab. Another would exempt any land claim payments from being attached by creditors. Now, some of the appointees that will be voted on are Samantha Brennan for DOC, Ike Pareto for Customs. Appointments that senators said they would move on the session floor are Steve Ignacio for the Chief of Police, Esther Agigi for the Adjutant General of the National Guard, and Lester Carlson for the Director of BBMR. Session is Monday at 10. Well, the island tonight is tragically mourning the loss of former Sinanya Mayor Alfonso Pangilinan. He was the vice mayor of the Central Village from 1965 to 1967 and mayor from 1968 to 1973. He also worked for former Governor Ricky Berdallo during his 2 terms in office. Governor Lulian Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio extend their sincere condolences to the Pangilinan family. The administration has directed all GovGuam agencies to fly flags at half-staff in his honor. Rosary and funeral arrangements will be announced at a later time. Well, with Easter being just around the corner, our digital teams put together a fun and interactive game on Instagram for you to play. And you can also win some really cool prizes in the process. Here's Ken St. Nicholas with the details.
Hey everybody, for your take we have a very special Easter edition. If you go to our Instagram page, you can participate in the KUAM virtual Easter egg hunt. You just click on this post and it'll take you to the Instagram page for the virtual Easter egg hunt, where you have to go through this montage to find the eggs, right? And it'll take you here. Once you find the eggs, you break the code, and that will get you either Avengers tickets or gift certificates, as well as different prizes that we have in the KUAM prize vault. But we've already had over 70 applicants, and they keep coming in, so please send in your answers quickly, and we'll pick winners at random.
All right, good job, Ken. Well, it is a lot of fun, so make sure to check us out on our Instagram, feed it at KUAM News, and play today. All right, let's check out some regional headlines now. Here is KSPN2 News Inside Head.
Hafa Guam. Here are the headlines for CNMI. Today in the Court of Associate Judge Joseph Camacho, defendants Alvagine de los Santos and Sherry de los Santos have both been sentenced to 5 years, with all suspended receiving credit for the 14 days both have already served. According to court documents, between April 10th and April 19th, 2018, Alvagine and Sherry both unlawfully took $3,200 in promotional vouchers and about $2,956 in U.S. currency from Club C inside the Canoa Resort. Alvagine and Sherry are first cousins. Defendant Alvagine was a supervisor at the cashier's booth at Club C, who printed unauthorized promotional vouchers and instructed defendant Sherry to gamble using the vouchers, where they would split the winnings. Both defendants have no prior criminal history. Club C reported they suffered both financial loss and some reputational damage. Both defendants are to serve 3 years probation and 200 hours of community service. For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Stay tuned, sports is coming up next.
It's Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary, and to celebrate, we are giving away a new Kia Soul LX, a Mazda 3i Sport, the popular Honda Civic LX, and 30 Manila Flyaways during our 30th anniversary Drive Away Flyaway. Win 3 great cars from Triple J Auto Group, 30 Flyaways from Philippine Airlines, plus thousands of prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker when you play Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary Drive Away Flyaway.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Looking for a great deal on a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Then get to Cars Plus in Mighty now for our spring sales event. Like a new Jeep Compass Sport, $166 per paycheck. Or a new Chrysler Pacifica LX, $220 per paycheck. Or save $8,500 on a new Ram 1500. How about a new Jeep Wrangler Sport? Only $274 per paycheck. Low 1.99% financing is available on approved credit. Save thousands during our spring sales event going on now at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
It's a seafood celebration on the Lent menu, now back at King's Restaurants. Your tasty favorites like salmon curry and whole deep-fried parrotfish will have you swimming with flavors from the sea. It's a seafood celebration at King's.
Visitors make memories on our island. They contribute millions of dollars every year to our community. So what does that mean? Tourism keeps our island's culture alive.
And it strengthens our identity as Chamorros.
Tourism creates opportunities for local businesses to thrive.
dishes I create feature local ingredients.
These ingredients come from local farms and create local jobs for farmers like us.
For every job we see in tourism,
There are hundreds more we don't see.
From teachers
To babysitters,
to engineers,
we all work in the tourism industry.
Our visitor industry benefits everyone. It improves our income and gives back to our community.
meaning more opportunities for a better Guam.
Works for Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We'll hear from UOG Athletic Director Doug Palmer in just a bit about the Wall of Fame. But first off, this week's Gatorade Game Changer. Check it out. Alexia Brown knows sports. The Guam High Panthers senior plays just about every sport her school has to offer. Alexia plays volleyball, tennis, basketball, rugby, and track and field.
I do many sports because my family is a big sports family. My brother, he's in track as well. He does a lot of sports during the school year too. And it's just a really big part of our family. It's like our biggest hobby, and it's just something that we all really enjoy to do.
Alexia made a racket on the tennis court as a freshman, as she and the Panthers won the IIAAG Tennis Championship. She also made the junior national tennis team and represented Guam in Saipan. While championships don't come around often for Guam High, track and field has gotten golden for the Panthers. Brown and the Lady Panthers snagged track titles in her freshman and junior year. Alexia took home All-Island honors for track and field 3 seasons she's been in. Alexia medaled in all 4 of her events, and last year she took home 3 gold medals in high jump, triple jump, and the 4x100.
My freshman year when we won a championship, it was a really big deal, not only because it was my first championship, but it felt really nice to contribute to the team. And then last year when we won championship, it felt really nice because my sophomore year we got second, so we really tried to push for it, and it just felt really good for all the hard work that paid off.
Alexia is gunning for gold again this year. In week 3, Alexia and the Panthers finished first in the 4x100, and Alexia went the distance in the triple jump with a 9.7. The week before, she set a personal record with a 9.82. She also took first in the high jump and long jump.
This year is definitely to take all 4 gold in my events. So far it's looking pretty good, so hopefully I can maintain what I'm doing and it can last all the way to All Islands.
Alexia isn't just a top gun in sports. She is also a 4.0 student who takes AP Calculus and Literature. She's been in the National Honor Society since she was a sophomore. Alexia is also president of her school's student-to-student club. She tells us her inspiration to do good started at home.
My parents have definitely instilled in me that maintaining that high achieving in sports and academics is a really important thing. I've been really into school since I was little. I've always had a 4.0 GPA, and sports also helps me with my schoolwork because it kind of helps me remain focused.
Alexia seems to do it all, and she served in JROTC all 4 years at Guam High. She has a scholarship to attend Mary Baylor University, where she will pursue nursing and ROTC.
So for our ROTC program, I'm the operations officer, and that's basically the person who plans all the community and participation events for our school and our program. And so we have the opportunity to plan many beach cleanups, canned food drives, feed the homeless, Toys for Tots. We've done all that this year. And I'm also in National Honor Society, and that's a big community organization where we go out and we do different kinds of things all over the island.
It's obvious Alexia can do whatever she puts her mind to, and she prepares to take her life to the next level. She remains focused on staying golden on the track, and that's what makes Alexia Brown a Gatorade game changer. The University of Guam Triton Athletics Department honored the first 2 classes of their Athletic Hall of Fame at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse lobby with a ceremony Opening the Wall of Fame, UOG Athletics Director Doug Palmer said the Wall of Fame will serve as a substitute until the Hall of Fame room can be built. The Wall of Fame will be the centerpiece of the Fieldhouse lobby, which will draw attention to some of the greatest athletes that have been Tritons over the years.
If they set up their phones for a QR code, then we have 4 or 5 QR symbols or whatever they're called, and that will take you to a video about the Hall of Fame. It will take you to the 2017 and 2018 Hall of Fame receptions, pictures, and actually a video of the 2017 one. And it will give you a history of the Hall of Fame. We hopefully are going to add some more. This ceremony will actually be put up there soon too. So we want to make it interactive, that you can enjoy it by view, but you can also enjoy it on your phone and download things on it.